Hey guys, so today I just want to share a quick video about the recently released Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the long-awaited Sinnoh remakes. Well, okay, I'm only really talking about Shining Pearl, that's the one I got. So, specifically we're talking about that. At the time I'm writing this, the games have been out for about a week. I played Pearl damn near non-stop as soon as it came out for about three and a half days maybe. Had a blast, and I recorded the whole run. Or at least I would have liked to, if not for these wonderful technical issues, which all in all have caused me to lose several hours of footage. No, I'm not upset by that at all. Why would you think that? That being said, today I'd like to give an overall impressions video, an Apollo's opinions you could say, run some comparison to the original Diamond and Pearl as well as Platinum and see where they stand in comparison from my own point of view. To keep things relatively brief, I'm only going to go over a few different categories, specifically visuals, so like graphics, art style, animations, that sort of thing, sound and music, pretty self-explanatory, and finally, post-game content and overall just gameplay changes, things that have been updated or tweaked from the originals. So, without any further ado, let's get going. So obviously, the biggest visual change is everything going from, being 2D and sprite-based to being 3D and based on models. I think the 3D chibi models are a natural evolution of the 2D chibis from the originals. In both the new and old games, you're this squat little tater-tot in the overworld, and then you're more correctly proportioned in battles. In the overworld, though, in the remake, there seems to be this, sort of, blur effect around the edges of the screen. I don't know what that's all about. A little distracting at first, but you get used to it. Some battle animations have seen a facelift, like Shadow Ball. It's one of my favorite examples. The old animation is still good, the way the ball has to manifest before it just strikes its target, But in the new animation, the screen, has to flicker a few times before the attack makes impact, and it makes it feel more visceral and impactful, Some moves, I think, look like a little basic and flat. The animation for Spatial Rend looks fucking sick. Battle transitions, specifically for the wild battles, feel a little more sudden. With the old games, you're walking through the grass and there's just this little stretch of time with the music starting up and the screen, doing its thing to load the battle, and I kind of miss those. With the improved hardware, I'm sure the loading screens don't need to be nearly as long, but I prefer the feeling of build-up that the originals had. It's still here in the remakes, but I don't know, it feels kind of stunted. So now, when you get into a trainer battle, the camera zooms in, trainer says their line, but then the camera just blinks back to its original position, and then the fight begins. I'm not sure why they do that with the camera. So the areas around Celestic Town that require defog almost look like a mix between the fog world of Silent Hill and a goddamn CSGO flashbang, I don't know, just something about the fog. It was just way too bright. I don't know. On the whole, I'd say this is a pretty solid visual upgrade, which is pretty much what I'd expect for a remake of games that are now 15 years old. As much as I'd love to do some direct soundtrack comparisons, I'll have to keep that sort of thing more restrained than I'd like it to be because, I want to keep the risk of copyright claims or, fucking heaven forbid, strikes to a minimum. Let's start with sound effects. Some of them are not as punchy as I'd like them to be, you know what I mean? Like the low health warning, the super effective hit sound effect, I feel like the old versions had some more weight to them. They sounded more, I suppose more crunchy, I guess. But some sounds like the poison effect, like when someone takes damage from poison, it's just incredible. It's what I imagine fantasy poison to sound like.
Thick, gloomy, and evil.
Moving on to the soundtrack, I'd say out of all the new songs, most of them are pretty much as good as their originals, if not better. There's this one section early on in the Team Galactic grunt battle theme that it starts good, then it's just like this little bit really early on that's kind of weak. But then the rest of it is just great. The Commander theme fucking slaps. Pretty much every battle theme is just so damn good. Special mentions to the themes for Eterna Forest, Kanalave City, and The Lakes. Those are just incredibly beautiful, 10 out of 10. Here's a short comparison. On another note, I can't be the only one who hears this. Did they sample the Taco Bell noise? Like the Taco Bell, like, ding for the move Confusion? All in all, I'd say this is a pretty big improvement. Slipping up in a few areas, like the theme for the snowy routes, like 216, 217, and also Snowpoint City's theme. I prefer the original ones for those, but like 90% of the new music, fucking aces. So as far as I can tell, or as far as I've read, the post-game in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is pretty much the same as the original Diamond and Pearl, but just expanded on. You're able to catch some legendary and mythical Pokemon, rebattle gym leaders, take on the Battle Frontier, finish the Pokedex, that sort of thing. Special shout out to these gym leader rematches though, they go hard in the paint. One change I remember people making a huge fucking stink on Twitter about was in Floaroma Town, there's these two NPCs. One will give you a Jirachi and the other will give you a Mew if you have save data from Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee on your Switch profile. And for the record, this game does have the Sword and Shield feature of letting you access your PC boxes from anywhere you want, so if you don't want to use these Pokemon, there you go. You could pretty accurately describe the gameplay changes as Diamond and Pearl, but made much more bearable. Not that the originals are unplayable, it's just, the remakes smooth out the gameplay and make it a lot less of a ball ache. I mean, I love original Gen 4, but I think we can all agree it runs kinda slow, and Diamond and Pearl especially, its pacing with the gym badges and important story areas, they could have seen some improvement. The remakes have been sped up, so perhaps the placement of important story beats hasn't really been changed, but you definitely get to them more quickly. I know a lot of people don't enjoy having the XP share on at all times. On one hand, it makes grinding way less tedious. Still takes a bit of time, but it's much, much more expedient. If you go too hard in the paint, you can possibly go overboard, but to be fair, that takes a lot of battles. You kind of have to try to go overboard. It's a bit of a balancing act, I suppose, but yes, I do agree there should be an option to turn it off if you want. The game has an autosave feature, which activates after, walking through a doorway, or I think in between routes also, but, you can turn it off if you want, but why would you? Oh, the way running shoes handle, it's a little bit janky, I think. So if you move with the D-pad, it's just like you're playing DS games. You move in 4 directions, and if you hold B while moving, you'll run. But if you use the analog stick and only slightly tilt it, you'll walk, but you'll have full range of movement. But if you tilt it all the way, you'll run and have full range of movement. It's kind of weird, but you get used to it. Also, D-pad movement lets you do this. You can speed up the surfing animation, thank God. They changed contests to just being this one rhythm game, which is cool, I guess. I think I preferred the old contest, though. Making poffins is still a little bit finicky. The ability to customize Pokeballs is just given to you early on, which is something I appreciate. From what I understand, I never unlocked this myself in Platinum because you had to jump through some hoops to get it in the old games. This is a pretty neat feature. Your Pokemon can now follow you around again, though it's more limited than it was in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, for example. They don't follow you indoors, and on some routes, like 217, I tried it out and it didn't work. You know, in the Johto remakes, or even Pokemon Yellow, your Pokemon would follow you anywhere. But, I mean, you know, still, it's nice to be able to walk around with my teammates. TMs are back to being single-use, which, I mean, I don't particularly understand why they did that, but at least you can sell them again now. That's something I don't like about TMs in recent generations. Like, since Generation 5, TMs have been infinite use, but you can't sell them. I mean, I understand why you can't sell them. They're infinite use, but, like, I'm not gonna fucking use the TM for a move like Helping Hand or Leech Seed or something like that. I know you have infinite bag space, but still, I don't want these. I don't think I can throw them away, so let me get rid of them. I love that these remakes let you sell TMs if you want. But probably my biggest praise when it comes to the gameplay changes is the way they handled HMs. Because if you've ever played the original Diamond or Pearl or Platinum, oh boy, you best fucking have that Bibarel, or you ain't getting anywhere. Here in the remakes, oh, it's like we're playing Sun and Moon because they operate almost exactly like they do in that game with the Ride Pokemon. So when you get an HM, it gets added to a list in a Pokétch app, which just lets you use the HMs in the overworld. You can also get HMs as TMs, but, you know, you don't need to have those moves on your Pokemon. I love how it's flavored as like a wild Bidoof, a Staraptor, or a Bibarel just helping you out with your predicament. It's charming as all hell. Also, I've seen a good few glitches that other people have encountered. From what I've heard, there's also a way to clone Pokemon in your PC boxes, which is a bit of an oof if I'm being honest. Most of these glitches aren't exactly game-breaking, but still, oof. We're probably going to be seeing some patches for the game soon. Hopefully they'll iron out a lot of these issues. So to summarize, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are very faithful remakes of their original counterparts, while also streamlining and improving upon what's already there. I think it does stumble here and there, but by and large they are just improved versions of the original Diamond and Pearl. But you know what else is an improved version of Diamond and Pearl? Pokemon Platinum. Platinum does iron out a lot of issues that original Diamond and Pearl had, but still Platinum is fundamentally an OG Gen 4 game, so it still has its share of the older generation jank. The original Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum are still playable today, but Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are, in my opinion, the definitive versions of Diamond and Pearl. Are they better than Platinum? Setting my nostalgia aside? Those modern conveniences, they're nothing to sneeze at. If you like the modern Pokemon games, you'll like these. If you also like the older Sinnoh games, you'll like these. I would definitely say that Platinum and the remakes are better than original Diamond and Pearl, but you can't really go wrong with any particular version of Sinnoh. On one end, you have Diamond and Pearl, which are the oldest versions of these games. Still good, but, they're the least, I would argue, the least user-friendly of the three options. Then you have Platinum, which is just firmly in the middle. It's better than original Diamond and Pearl, but I'd say not as good as the remakes, but still, Platinum is just a really good Pokemon game. And then you have the Diamond and Pearl remakes at the other end of the spectrum, which it really just smooths out and irons out a lot of the old school bullshit, which if you don't want to have to deal with that, there you go. But if you want the original challenge, you can always go back to it. Hey, thanks for watching. Pretty soon after this video goes live, I'm going to have another announcement video going up. This one is, it's going to be about the future of the channel and some changes I'm thinking of implementing, some changes I'm going to be making. Nothing doom and gloom, but we're going to be seeing some updates and some balance tweaks, I think we could call it, some patch notes we could call it. Now, with all that being said, if you like the video, do the thing if you want. Maybe subscribe if that's what you want to do. I'm not your dad. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.